So today, the last part of the Hotsubo Daishin chapter, as with all of the texts by Dogen Zenji, usually he doesn't say the most important thing last. Usually Dogen Zenji says the most important things already in the first few sentences. That doesn't mean that the end of a chapter wouldn't be important, but basically he's pushing the same point again and again. So in this chapter, it's all about what in Japanese is called ji mi tokudo sendo ta, the wish to help others, even though your problem isn't solved yet. You might think that I need help first. I need to solve my problem, and then I can help the others. And Dogen Zenji says, no, forget that. Forget your problem, forget yourself. Don't aim at becoming a Buddha, but practice as a bodhisattva in this life and in the next life and even forever. And even if everybody else is saved and you still remain in this world, so be it. That should be your wish. And why, you could ask, why would anybody wish something that's so stupid? And the answer would be because this wish in itself is an expression of the mind of Buddha. The wish to help others, even if you, at the end of the day, are still in the midst of samsara. This mind in itself is an expression of nirvana. And Dogen Zenji said that all of the patriarchs, starting from Mahakashapa and Ananda down to Bodhidharma and all of the Chinese patriarchs, and of course also the Japanese patriarchs, they were bodhisattvas, they were not Buddhas, which is kind of surprising because in other works Dogen Zenji says there's an easy way to become a Buddha, just let go of your body and mind. Basically throw yourself into Zazen. If you sit for 5 minutes, you're a 5-minute Buddha. If you sit for an hour, you're 1-hour Buddha. And the same is also true for the Tenzo. If you throw your whole heart into Tenzo, you are a Tenzo Buddha. But here he says, you're never going to be a Buddha. Be a bodhisattva, just as all of the other patriarchs. So forget Buddhahood, practice as a bodhisattva. And then at the end of the chapter, Dogen Zenji mentions obstacles on the way. He says it's hard to, how do you say, actually, well, keep this fire burning. A little bit like a match. During this season in Japan, rainy season, it's very humid. So if the Tenzo wants to start a fire in the early morning at 4 o'clock and he wants to light a match, I don't know if you still have matchboxes in Antaiji, but they get so wet, it's hard to light them. And if you finally lit one and you think, now I'm going to start the fire, it often happens that it doesn't work. The fire goes out again. And it's the same with this wish. It's not only about me. I want to help others. You might feel this, but often it doesn't continue so long. Dogen Zenji uses several metaphors. One is of kind of fish eggs or also frog eggs. Fish lay many eggs, but only few of these actually become fish. Or with mango, obviously, it seems to be the same. I never saw mango flowers, but obviously mango plants have lots of flowers, but then only few fruits. And with our body mind, it shouldn't be the same. Take care of this body mind. Dogen Zenji says, take care of it as if it was your only child. Take care of it as if you had only one eye. You're blind on the other eye. In that case, you would take care of your eye. It's your only eye. Body mind is the only eye you have. Body mind is like a guide in the wilderness. You're lost in a desert, but you have a guide. Body mind is that guide. Take care of that only guide that you have. And then at the end, at the very end, Dogen Zenji also it talks about demons and devils that try to seduce us. And these demons and devils often appear with the face of a Buddha or a bodhisattva. They appear as our parents or as our teachers, as our friends from back when we were in college. And basically what these teachers say or friends say, good friends in quotes, what are you doing there in Antaiji? You're still young. Where do you want to be in 5 years, in 10 years? I read on the website you're supposed to stay there for 3 years. And there's even this saying by Uchiyama Roshi, 10 years, then another 10 years, and then another 10 years. That makes 30 years. Boy, you must be crazy to go there, and you don't even get a license. You don't even get Satori after your 30 years. Who would be so stupid to waste 3 years, 5 years, 10 years of their lives? Go back to college, get a job, find a wife, have kids, work to provide for your family, do something to make the world a better place. How can you help the people in Ukraine? Can you help the kids in Gaza with your monthly session in Antaiji? If you have no money, we're gonna pay for your tickets and you can come back home. Get into the next plane. We're waiting for you. Those are the demons that Dogen Zenji talks about in the end of this chapter. And the demons, they think only about our goods. They're thinking about us. They don't think that we are a demon. They want to help us. They want to help us. And well, we know that they want to help us. And actually what these demons say is things that we have thought. During session, for example, on the third day of session, you ask yourself, when is the next bus? Maybe I can still get that bus. I get all my stuff into my backpack and I could leave now. Maybe I could get the next plane back home, or maybe I could work as an English teacher somewhere in Osaka, whatever. There are so many better possibilities than wasting 3 years, 5 years, maybe even 10 years of your life in Antaiji. Who would be so stupid? So Dogen Zenji knew these demons. The disciples at the time of Dogen knew these demons in Eiheiji. It's not that these people were all enlightened Buddhas and they had no doubts. They had the same doubts that we have today. What am I doing here deep in the mountains of Eiheiji? Why don't I go back to Kyoto? Why don't you go back to my family? Why don't I get a real life when all my friends already have real lives and I'm sitting here on my cushion? And it's those demons that prevent us from walking the way till the end. And there's also this one demon voice that I talked about already. This voice that says you, well, but how can I help others without first helping myself? There's another demon voice that says, well, how can you help the people in Ukraine when you sit there on the cushion? There's this one part where in today's section at the end where he's talking about, it's not about the uhen muhen in Japanese, kind of if the realm of the suffering beings is limited or unlimited. Like at the end of each of these talks we chant, I vow to save all living beings, although they are numberless. And of course, everybody will ask themselves, so sooner or later, how is this possible? If they're numberless, how can I save them? I can't even help the people in Ukraine or in Gaza. How can I help the deer that are caught by the hunters and that are brought to Antalya? How can I help the mosquitoes? How am I supposed to help all living beings? And that's another doubt that can keep you from practicing the way. But I cannot possibly help all living beings. The answer to this doubt is start with one. Start here in this moment with one. Even if there's only 5 people in Antalya now, that means there's 5 people that need your attention. You being also one of them. But maybe for a while you forget about this one person and also think about the other 4. What can I do for them? And with that mind, kind of that's the match. If that match is burning, if that match is finally burning, you can start a fire with that. If even that match isn't burning and you think, how can I help all the people, including those people in Ukraine, in Gaza, and maybe even the mosquitoes in India or somewhere? You will never get that match burning. So this match needs to burn. How do I help the 5 people here, right now? What can I do here? And from there, the fire of Bodhimind will extend and become bigger and bigger. Okay, that was my English digest. If you have questions or comments, もしご質問やご意見等ありましたら、ぜひとも聞かせていただければと思います。よろしくお願いします。